Hey guys, welcome back to Muslim Minds. Today we're going to be reacting to this clown Netanyahu speech in front of the U.S. Congress. It's just a 2 minute clip, just to, I guess, like a highlight of what he was speaking about. So we're just going to react and leave some comments on this clip.
Yeah, I obviously heard what happened, but I've not actually seen the speech itself.
Yeah, standing ovation for Shaitan.
We meet today at a crossroads of history. Our world is in upheaval. In the Middle East, Iran's axis of terror confronts America, Israel, and our Arab friends. This is not a clash of civilizations. It's a clash between barbarism and civilization.
I thought he was going to say Clash of Clans.
The barbarism is you though. That
I mean, you have how I look at it is, I mean, at some point, those people in the audience, how many of them are not just like straight puppets that they have to clap? Because when you go to, I mean, if you ever have seen clips or heard about what happens in North Korea, like meetings like this, I guess you can say congressional meetings or anything related to the leader being present, they all clap. Many of them don't even like him, even though they're brainwashed. So I mean,
yeah, there's so much pressure on them, or they've been bribed or blackmailed and stuff like that.
yeah,
They're all bought out.
yeah, because I would say, I mean, if you have an intellect or like you said, bought out, there's no way if you just look into the history and what's currently happening as a response to Hamas that you could in any way justify his actions or the state of Israel in general, the false state of Israel's actions. So these people
Yeah,
are
there's
definitely
no
bought
way
out.
you would clap at anything he says because he's already at this point of the speech, at this coming out, he's been the International Court of Justice put a warrant for him, right? So he's an international criminal.
What is barbarism though? Like, what is it to be barbaric? How many children do you have to kill? Or is killing children not barbaric as a response to terrorism, quote unquote, using illegal weapons that you're not supposed to be using at a national level? Bombing indiscriminately. The numbers are far exceeding over hundreds of thousands at this point. People are stuck at the 40,000 mark. No one's reporting these numbers because everyone's dying in Gaza. And then you have to trust the Israeli sources, which obviously are not going to count the civilian casualties too high. But if you look at all these videos that still come out from Gaza from independent resources, and you see how many children are just continuously being slaughtered. And you have to remember that strip, 50% of the population is kids, and then you have women. So the majority of the people who are suffering the consequences or the response from Israel are just innocent men, women, and children.
Yeah.
So that, to me, that's clear barbarism. Setting people on fire, raping. You guys are in the beginning. All these false reports coming out about beheading, rape. Say even setting people on fire. All of that Israel is doing it. No one cares. Everyone cares when the Palestinians are doing it or the Gazans are doing it. What I mean by people caring, I mean like the news sources or the nations of power, the allies with Israel. Then they will comment, "Oh, look at Hamas! Look at these supposed resources of beheading babies," and then President Biden, who doesn't even remember his own last name, is just regurgitating the same nonsense. But then when you see clear footage, videos live on the ground of these things happening to children and women without any end in sight continuously, you have to ask yourself, who's really the barbarian?
It's a clash between those who glorify death and those who sanctify life. For the forces of civilization to triumph, America and Israel must stand together.
Huge looming threat Hamas has shown that you need so many billions of US taxpayer dollars. I mean, I'll speak to the Americans here. Maybe some of them are still allying with Israel. Forget any kind of moral or even geopolitical reason to support or be against Israel or Palestine or whatever. The bottom line is your own company or country's resources are going towards Israel and their weapons and their atrocities. Maybe you don't even see them as atrocities, but why are we wasting our money? Why are we as US citizens allowing and enabling and supporting our government sending so many resources to Israel? Do they really need it for Hamas? Gaza is not even bigger than Houston, Texas. You know, the city of Houston is smaller than Houston, and it has 2 million people total. The amount of Hamas soldiers really is not that formidable. Now you can say Israel is also small, but how many billions is enough? How much?
They already have like one of the like best militaries in the world, like the most advanced or something.
The best, supposedly best secret. What do they call it? Mossad, the best like secret agency in the world, like in gathering intel. I mean, October 7th was a huge intel failure. If you still believe that, by the way, that it was just an intel failure and Hamas just got, they just got lucky in attacking Israel, striking Israel, then you're really deluded. It was obviously an orchestrated plan from Israel to just give a permission to themselves on what they're doing to Gaza. So it doesn't look like a crime, it looks like a response. Even if you look at the reports, they're admitting themselves that they were attacking their own civilians on October the 7th. Don't believe me, but that's what is reported by them themselves. None of their stories are consistent from the Israeli side.
Because when we stand together, something very simple happens. We win, they lose. And my friends, I came to assure you today.
What does it mean they lose? Who? Like Palestinians?
I know, it's just
to be more clear.
Yeah, it's like Trump, like the truth comes out whenever they're not really thinking about what they're saying. During the presidential debate, Trump calls Biden, he calls him, oh, you're just like a Palestinian. I thought this was about Hamas. That's what you guys like to say, oh, Hamas is all Hamas, here, there, everywhere, Hamas in your underwear, like they're everywhere. But it's funny because then they just say Palestinians. Oh, Palestinians. And then like you see people from Israel and they're people from government, they'll say, oh, that it's even the kids are criminals, that they're just going to grow up to be terrorists, so it's fine to kill them. So you have people saying, no, it's just a justified response. Innocents are going to die, obviously, it's just war. And then you have others saying, no, we want to kill them. Even IDF soldiers themselves. Oh, I love killing children. I mean, you guys have seen the clips. How many IDF soldiers do you need to see making their own videos saying, yes, I killed children, yes, I sniped them? They admit to it. If you go to Muslim Lantern YouTube channel and type in Muslim Lantern IDF soldier, you'll find one who converted to Islam, by the way, at the end of the video, talking about the atrocities and how he has come to realize that what we're doing is just satanic. It's horrible. We're killing children. There's no justification. Like at some point, when does the counter response or any response or whatever you're trying to accomplish here, when does it become worth it? When tens of thousands of children are dead or permanently disabled, whether they're from your own nation or not. Is that really justifiable? It isn't. It's not even sustainable. The world will look at you as Satan, as is what is happening with Israel. The only support they have is from deluded morons, right? From the populace. Most of the people who actually know anything about this know that, okay, Israel's demonic, they're attacking civilians, and it's not right. Only the fooled populace who still listens to mainstream media, and then the mainstream Western allies of Israel.
Of one thing, we will win. I thank President Biden for his heartfelt support for Israel after the savage attack on October 7th. He rightly called Hamas sheer evil. He dispatched 2 aircraft carriers to the Middle East to deter a wider war. And he came to Israel to stand with us during our darkest hour, a visit that will never be forgotten. President Biden and I have known each other for over 40 years. I want to thank him for half a century of friendship to Israel and for being, as he says, a proud Zionist. Actually, he says a proud Irish-American Zionist.
Everything is just clap.
Yeah.
They're just like
I can be proud of having brain rot. I can be proud. I mean, they're proud Satanists. It happens. Some people are proud of their crimes against humanity.
I mean, it doesn't make sense, even if people were brainwashed at this point where there's been so many atrocities and just endless videos on Instagram or wherever you look about children just being killed and massacred and women and people being raped, hospitals being blown up, and they said they would never target a hospital. Now I think I heard every hospital is gone. So how can you give someone a standing ovation who's the leader of that movement? And even people in Israel, there have been protests against Netanyahu in the last few weeks. No one
will report on this.
Yes, it's not. No one. Real people don't like him. Even Jewish people who follow Judaism, that they don't like him either.
Orthodox Jews, they don't like him. The medical, I guess,
just politics and like just political stuff for money at the end of the day.
Yeah, the medical systems in place that are present to help at any level are done in like shambles, broken clinics. All the doctors that have gone there, even Yasser Qadi, he has on his channel, someone from his community, a doctor, went to Gaza a couple months ago to offer any assistance that he could. And the number one thing they say is everyone is suffering massive trauma. People have lost limbs. People come in dead, and the parents are like, hey, can you revive them? Because they just, you're in a state of shock. And all the time they say there's not enough people, not enough supplies, not enough anything, because it's being bombed to hell. And there's nothing coming in, nothing going out, right? Except for just very, few people who are given special access or permission or privilege to go in and then out. I mean, you guys know it yourself. You see, it's all a farce. You can equate Netanyahu to Biden and Trump and all these corrupt, evil political figures that are just in their own interest. The people clapping for him like donkeys, blind donkeys, it's all because of political interest. Those of you who actually still support Israel, I would just ask why. There are people out there who say, yeah, the women and children should be killed. They're all animals. And those are usually people who are racist. They don't like Muslims. And those people are all backwards. We're not speaking to you anyways. We're talking to those people who genuinely think Israel is doing something moral, who think that Hamas is the greatest enemy of all time. I'm not even here to talk about Hamas being bad or good. But if you think Hamas is evil, what is Israel then in comparison? Look at the actions of Hamas, how many women and children they've killed, for example, and then compare the amount of number that Israel has killed in terms of women and children. Is the reasoning behind it, does that make it any better? Okay, Hamas kills children and women for reason A, but Israel, they're only killing them for reason B as a response, as retaliation. At the end of the day, it's still children and women, innocent, being murdered. And you can say, they're going to grow up to be terrorists. Really? 2 million Gazans are all terrorists? That's not the case. Israel will be flooded and annihilated at this point if they're all like Hamas, brazen and suicidal, whatever. But you don't find that because they're regular people trapped. The vast majority of them, whoever is not Hamas, that's the argument I would present to you, but you're not willing to accept it. You guys just want to accept the narrative you've already instilled into your own mind. And on this point, Netanyahu is saying, we've already won, we will win. You don't. Because coming from an Islamic paradigm, what is this world? You live for maybe 70, 80 years max. There is an akhirah, there is an afterlife, day of judgment, paradise, and hellfire. Those women and children that you've killed, innocent men, people who were going about their daily lives in a prison, open air prison, completely surrounded. You can't even go 5 hours off the shore without being sniped by an Israeli soldier for trying to fish. Those people who are dying are going to Allah. They're going to paradise. That's the true success. As soon as they enter paradise, they will not even remember for a moment, no matter, not any amount of any kind of suffering that they've experienced in this world. Whereas these people who are committing these atrocities, they're going to go to hell in the droves, and they're not going to remember even a moment of happiness. And what, for this dunya, that's going to end anyways? So there's no success here. It may look like that in this world, but in the afterlife, it's a completely different story. The afterlife is the only life that truly matters anyway. So you guys have already lost those who support Israel and Israel themselves.
You popped off. MashaAllah.
Hey, dog.
But yeah, this is just pretty dumb.
Just to summarize,
it's literally just dumb standing ovation.
Yeah.
After everything we've seen.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. Like, these kind of reaction videos are necessary for people so they can hear these arguments. But like, is it really needed? Like, how do you people still don't understand?
Yeah. I mean, even if the U.S. Congress is backing him up, it's not even a good thing. Like, they just show they're all brainwashed, and most of them are corrupt too.
If you look at the reasons why people support them, like, for example, you find a lot of Indians supporting Israel. Everyone knows the reason. You guys just don't like Muslims. For the Indians who support Israel, I mean, there are many Indians who don't, but many Indians do support Israel. Why? They simply just don't like. Oh, we don't like Pakistan, therefore Palestine. We don't like them either. That's the reason. If you dig a little deeper, you go back and forth with people online. Oh, all you Muslims are the same. Look at you Muslims getting bombed. Oh, how many more children? And they mock you. They enjoy the killing of children. Oh, we like that children are dying. It's not about justice. All this nonsense about, oh, Hamas is evil. Y'all don't care about terrorism. Y'all don't care about Hamas. Y'all don't care about October the 7th. You just want as many Muslim children dead possible. That's the bottom line for many of you. Many of you are sick, twisted individuals, satanic, that want Muslims to be gone. And we're not going anywhere. We're the fastest growing religion in the world. We're the only stable religion in the world where we actually have our followers in the masses of the religion practicing it the way it should be. You don't have this insane fragmentation in Islam like you have in other faiths. You don't have it lost to time, textual change of the scriptures. It's preserved. It's here to stay till the day of judgment. So you can do with that what you will.
Leave comments on what else we should react to, and like and comment on the video, stuff like that. And thanks you guys for watching. Assalamu alaikum.